Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/slash Tales from Tech Support. In today's episode, I don't want Windows 10, I want University. Vladimir. Asterisk Vladimir. Asterisk. The most expensive network cable. My data hasn't been working for 20 minutes, and I want compensation. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. I don't want Windows 10, I want University. I work as a student IT for my university. For obvious reasons I won't name the institution. Part of what I do is watch over the computer labs that are open for students to use. As it is summer, there are not too many students that come through, but a couple of weeks ago I dealt with the most incompetent, contradictory, and confusing person I have ever had the displeasure to come across. One day while I am sitting at the lab's help counter, a blonde woman walks in, lots of makeup, looks to be in her mid-20s. I could tell she was going to be an issue the moment she sat down at a computer and immediately looked towards me with what I can only describe as a look of fear. Sure enough, within a few minutes she shouts out in my general direction, I am having some problems. I try to get her to explain, but getting annoyed she insists that I come over and help her. I really wish I hadn't. She was staring at the login screen just saying, "What's this? What am I supposed to do with this?" all while flicking the mouse around uncontrollably. Not wanting to be rude and just assuming she may not be that familiar with computers, I explained that the login screen for these labs simply wants your university username and password, the same for the Wi-Fi and every other service. She responds with, "Okay, yeah, but why does it look like this?" At first I thought she was referring to the way the login screen looked. We had just upgraded all the lab computers to Windows 10, so she may just have not been used to it. I explained to her it's the same as other labs, we've just updated to Windows 10. She responds saying that, okay, but I want the university, not this. Starting to get weird, but okay, I managed to get her to log in all the while she is sighing and huffing and puffing. What I noticed was how fluent she was with the keyboard, which contradicted my initial thought that she was just not accustomed to computers. So we finally log in and she's even angrier, clicking like crazy on random icons, getting quite upset saying, "This isn't working, why is this like this?" Our computers have a lot of science and math software on them, and she hovers over a random icon and clicks it starting the application. When it, obviously, didn't open up University, she started to freak out asking, "What the hell is this?" I explained that it was graphing software used mostly for physics students. She promptly yells at me, "Why the hell would I want that? How the f*** should I know? You're the one who opened it." At this point my coworkers are getting interested, and I can see them laughing as I try to help this woman. She kept saying, "I don't want this, I want University." Which did not make any sense. I tried to get her to open the browser. She said, "What? Okay, open up Google Chrome." What? The internet. Open up the internet, Sai. I don't want that, I just want University. So I open it for her, and sure enough, when the default University page opens up, she starts typing away and everything seems fine. Cut to 10 minutes from now and she's back complaining that it isn't what she wants. "Can I just have a guest account?" At this point I noticed she was completely ignoring my two other female coworkers and kept asking me, "Am male?" I explained to her we don't give out guest accounts, and that also a guest account is kinda pointless because she has her own account. "But I don't want other people to get my stuff, ma'am." "Nobody, but you can access your account. Your files are saved to the account." "Yes, but if someone goes on this computer they are going to get my phone number and other info." I then try to explain to her that our files are saved on a server, and not on any individual computer in the lab. This seems to be the most complex and foreign concept she has ever heard, arguing with us every step of the way. Again, completely ignoring mostly my coworkers. She keeps asking for a guest account, and I tell her for the 10th time we don't give out guest accounts in this lab. She then plops her BBS on the counter trying to show some cleavage. "Please. Can I just have a guest account?" I tell her no, we cannot give her one, and that it wouldn't help. Whatever help means in this I do not know. At this point, a more senior staff walks in and asks her the problem. Upon getting a tirade of nonsensical ranting, he says, "Well, if you do not feel comfortable with Windows 10, the other labs on campus still have Windows 7. Her response, "I don't want Windows, I want University." I snapped, telling her that Windows is an operating system, University doesn't make any sense. She gets extremely angry and then leaves. To this day I still have no idea what she wanted, or how someone who seemed to be able to use a computer was also so computer illiterate at the same time. My only semi-plausible explanation, Mac user? Vladimir. Vladimir. Asterisk Vladimir. Asterisk. When I started working for my current company, there was a customer who was already infamous. He was one of those people who was known only by his first name. Everyone knew exactly who you were talking about when you said you'd had to take a call from Vladimir. They tried to protect me, as the newbie, from Vladimir as long as possible, but one day when I'd been at the company for maybe 6 months, it just couldn't be avoided. No one else was available but me, and he was in a royal fury. The operator called me up, apologized to me, even she knew who he was, and told me that she had no one else to take him. I reluctantly agreed to take the call. Unbeknownst to me at the time, this is the exchange the operator had with him immediately before she passed him to me. "Operator, I'm going to pass you to Mercury 22. She's new." Vladimir shouts, "I don't want somebody new. I want somebody who knows something." Operator shouts back, "She knows a lot, Vladimir." Slams down receiver, passing him to me. Vladimir's no Bob. He's a fairly intelligent guy, but he gets frustrated super quick, and has a very hot temper. I swear, sometimes when he calls us, he doesn't want his issue to be fixed, he just wants to let us know the torture our product is putting him through. He calls us to be a martyr on the line, and shout at us about how terrible the product is. And my first call with him was one of those. Luckily, operator was right. I knew a lot. I had picked up on our products super quick, and the issue he called me about was a piece of cake. The hard part was getting him to shut up long enough to tell him the solution to his issue. I managed to calm him down and fix his problem, and not long after that I had become his favorite tech. It had very quickly gone from, "I don't want to talk to her," to, "Get me Mercury 22. I need to speak to Mercury 22. Nobody else can solve my problems, nobody." I learned to read his moods like a medium reading tea leaves. Sometimes it was best to meet his fire with the cool exterior of a nurse at a mental hospital explaining why we don't hit other patients, and other times I could only get his attention by spitting flames back in his face. Other techs could always tell when I was talking to Vladimir because they'd hear a one-sided conversation that went something like this. "Me, Vladimir. Pause. Vladimir. Pause. Vladimir. Pause. Vladimir. Pause. Vladimir. Pause. You know I'm trying to help you, right? Do you want me to get this working for you, or not? Pause. Okay, then let me explain what's happening here. Many times in my career I've compared what I do to the TV show House. Tech support is a lot like diagnosing a patient. I frequently tell my techs, customers lie, playing on House's patients lie, and every time I say it I'm thinking of Vladimir. This is why I swear sometimes he'd call up just to try to prove to me that our product is crap, because he'd frequently lie to me about what did and didn't work. He'd tell me whatever would mean he needed to be in a panicked state, up against a deadline that he could not possibly meet, all because our products suck. One time he called me up with an issue where I knew exactly what it was. I just solved it for another customer the day before. We were on a remote meeting, and I could see his screen. "Vladimir, I tried everything and nothing works." Me, "Oh, I know what this is. You need to do." "Vladimir, I told you. I tried that and it didn't work." Me, thinks, "That's impossible, it has to work when you do that." Me, "What exactly did you do?" Vladimir, "I did and it didn't work. Nothing works. I told you. Me, can you do it again so I can see the steps you took? Vladimir, I told you I did and IT didn't work. Me, Vladimir, calm down. Can you do it one more time? Do it for me? Vladimir, calmer, fine. I'll do it again for you. See, I do this, and I click here, and I don't see it's working this time. You're the best. I always know when I call you up that you'll fix it for me. A few years later, Vladimir's favorite support grunt, me, was promoted to manager. I was a working manager for a while, trying to manage my team and take calls at the same time, but that proved to not be very efficient, and after years of that I reduced the calls I directly took down to almost nothing. Vladimir was not pleased. One day he was having a hissy fit, and was demanding to speak to no one but me, even though he'd been told many times that I was now a manager and didn't take direct calls. This particular day I was in and out of meetings about another customer who was legitimately having serious issues, and I couldn't make time for Vladimir. There were times when the operator literally couldn't find me, because I was bouncing between conference rooms and upper management offices. At one point the operator, now a different woman from earlier in this post, came and found me physically. She was crying. She told me about how upset Vladimir was, and how he was demanding to speak to me and wouldn't let her pass him to anyone else on the team, and she didn't know what to do. I was livid. I still didn't have time to call him back, because that other customer's issue was far from over, and there were political ramifications I had to juggle, but I took a few minutes to write Vladimir a scathing email. I told him that it was not the operator's fault that I wasn't available, shouting at her wouldn't make me come to the phone any faster, and that he was sabotaging his own attempts to get a solution by refusing to speak with the available qualified techs who were happy to help him with his issue. I made sure he knew the operator's name, and that he'd made her cry. Then I went back to trying to keep my other customer from hemorrhaging blood. Not long after I sent that email, the operator found me again, and told me that this had happened. Operator, thank you for calling. How may I direct your call? Vladimir, is this? Operator, recognizes his voice, tenses up, yes, it is. Vladimir, this is Vladimir. I just wanted to apologize. I did not mean to yell at you. That was completely unacceptable of me. Operator, wow. Thank you. That means a lot to me. Pause. Do you want to talk to tech support? Vladimir, no, thanks, I just called to apologize. Have a nice day. Click. That was one of my proudest moments as a manager, making Vladimir call back just to apologize. He still calls us up every once in a while. I haven't talked to him in years. He's found another favorite, but every once in a while he still tells her about the way Mercury 22 used to do things, and tells her to go ask me for answers. He still lies to her. Sometimes she comes to me and says, Tech, Vladimir says the last time this happened you told him to do. Me, I absolutely did not. Tech, I figured. And sometimes I still hear from someone else's cube. Vladimir. 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 Listen to me. The most expensive network cable. An emergency ticket pops into our system. Emergency, moved office need longer cables. Yeah, in all caps with extra exclamation points and everything. I look around the support area only to see empty desks. Everyone is out on other tickets. I guess it's up to me, I mumble, and call the customer. CUST, hello? Me, hi, it's me. I got your emergency ticket. CUST, thanks for calling back so fast. I need 2 cables about 15 feet long. I moved my desk to the other side of my office, and the existing cables won't reach. Me, okay. I see you marked it as an emergency. CUST, yes, I need it as soon as possible. Me, I can be there in 8 minutes. But keep in mind emergency tickets are billable at our emergency rate because it requires us to drop everything and reschedule appointments so we can get to you first. CUST, that's okay, it's important. I have a lot of work to do. Me, if you can wait 45 minutes I can fit you into a cancellation on the schedule, and it will be covered under the contract. CUST, no, it's definitely an emergency. Me, okay, see you in a few. Click. I grab 2 hideous 20-foot network cables, one red, the other orange, and jump in the Batmobile. I arrive to find the customer sitting on the floor of his office with piles of paperwork and manila envelopes going through some sort of odd new game combining the art of sorting and filing documents with the game of Twister. CUST, thank God you got here so quickly. I have so much work to do. Me, just give me a few seconds. I step around piles of paperwork, plug the cables in, feed them around furniture, and plug one into his VoIP phone and the other into his computer. I make sure the phone comes up properly and I sign in with my account to verify it's on the network. I sign out and get ready to leave. Me, you're all set. CUST, thanks, I really appreciate it. I start to walk out when another employee grabs me. CUST2, can you hook this computer up real quick since you're already here? I look at my timer. I've only been on the call for 15 minutes, so I figure I'll kill 2 birds with 1 stone, and it won't affect the price. Me, sure. Give me 30-ish minutes. I spent 45 minutes at hooking up the computer, verifying connectivity, installing our remote support tools, and taking care of a few other minor maintenance issues. The entire time I'm sitting there, I have a clear view into the office of the first employee. He's still sitting on the floor sorting papers. I finish up with a few minutes left on the clock and head back to the office. Just before closing I get a call from the employee with the new computer. He wants some random software package installed. While I'm setting it up remotely, I ask him if the first employee managed to get his office cleaned. CUST2, nope, he's been sorting all day. A quick check of the Logstash server shows he never signed in after I left. Good thing he got the $150 network cables instead of the free ones. My data hasn't been working for 20 minutes and I want compensation. So I had a customer call me up in mobile tech support with the problem that his data wasn't working for 20 minutes. Pretty quickly I find out why. He had accidentally turned off his data on the phone menu, which happens a lot, but usually the customer goes, oops, silly me. So this customer starts demanding that he wants compensation for his time without service and being very rude about it. After a couple of minutes he's not taking this as not something we did, but his mistake as I answer, so I get an idea. I tell him I'm going to go speak to my manager. I went up to my manager, explain what's happening. He says the customer's being ridiculous, and I said, listen, I have this idea for him, are you okay with this? Then explain my idea. Are you kidding? Let me get on call listening before you go back, I want to hear this. I go back to the phone, he gave me the thumbs up that he was ready to listen, and I proceed. Right, sir, I just had a word with my manager and I've managed to swing something for you. So let's break this down. You pay us $39.99 a month for 3 services, calls, texts and data. So let's divide your bill by 3, that give us 13.33. So let's divide further by 30 days to gives 44 pence for your daily data. Now you had your data turned off for 20 minutes, but for the purpose of this I'll round it up to an hour, so we just need to divide that 44 pence by 24 hours, so that means you're looking at compensation of 1.8 pence, so let's just say 2. I looked over at my manager during, and he was covering his mouth laughing. Customer goes, are you having AF at #KingLaugh? No sir, the math is there. Go on then, I'll take it. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we will see you in the next video.